We'll stand for reflection. I pledge allegiance to
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Corinne, can you read the statement of certification of the meeting?
The meeting has been advertised according to sunshine law.
Please call the roll.
Mr. Venero.
Here. Mayor
Mayor Melham.
Here.
Mr. Zangari. Mr. Conti.
Here.
Mr. Banda.
Here.
Mr. Gold.
Here.
Mr. Corvo. Mr. Graziano. Ms. Guaman. Ms. Rico. Mr. Alvarado. Mr. Guyan.
Here.
Mr. Di Lorenzo.
Here.
Mr. Harris.
Here.
And Ms. Tubito. Here.
Can I have a motion for the approval of minutes for the August 8th, 2019 meeting? Motion.
Second.
Please call the roll.
Mr. Venero.
Yes.
Mayor Melham.
Yes.
Mr. Conti.
Yes.
Mr. Banda.
Yes.
Mr. Gold.
Not when I push
No. Mr. Guyan.
Yes.
For PB 2907, 608 Mill Street, a resolution will be memorialized at the next meeting.
We have adjournments. We have PB 2504 plus A, 91 Terry Street, block 8902, lots 1, 10, and 11. We also have an adjournment for PB 2904, 30 Washington Avenue, block 8502, lots 3, 4, 4.01, and 4.02. We have the adjournment for Part 2 of 705, 757 Main Street, block 10001, lot 3. We also have the adjournment of PB 2808, 675 Main Street, Bridge Development, block 9103, lot 1.
And just for the record, no further notice will be given, and anyone here this evening to hear any of those applications can come back at the next meeting date, and they will be heard at that time. Just for the record, in case we didn't say, 107 Baldwin Place, block 4201, lot 4.02 is also adjourned. Will be heard at the next meeting.
107, you said, I'm sorry?
107 Baldwin Place,
So that's adjourned.
adjourned,
That's
yes.
the third adjournment. Is there a notice for the next date? When will the next-
The next date will be the next meeting date, which is, Corinne, do we know that?
Yep, October 10th.
On October 10th.
Excellent. But you won't send anything out?
No more notices,
Okay.
so if you want to hear that application, you can come back on October 10th.
Thank you so much.
Okay, thank you.
Under chairman comment, first I'd like to just take a moment and reflect on Al Schmidt. I should have brought it up last month, but we lost a great member. Al Schmidt passed away recently. He served on the board many years. He was probably the most knowledgeable person I've ever seen on a board. He used to give seminars on land use down in Atlantic City, and he was a great asset to the town, and I just want to recognize him for all his accomplishments he did for the town. We're going to have a poll of members. It's been requested by us to have a special meeting Thursday, October 24th. If you guys can let Corinne know who will be able to attend it, that way we'll be able to have a meeting. Brian's good?
I'm good, yeah.
Tom? Andy? Corinne, so
Okay, and I'll get the
And
rest
good.
of everybody else.
everyone here is
What's
at
that
a special meeting.
All right.
Four? What's the special meeting for?
Washington, who was it?
Franklin Avenue and Hilton,
Franklin Avenue.
previously before the zoning.
Gotcha. I can't be there.
Communications before the board. PB 2909, 675 and 690 Main Street, block 9103, lot 1, block 10002, lot 1. The planning board must review the ordinance adopting the Valley Business District Rehabilitation Plan and submit its recommendations to the Mayor and Municipal Council. Mary Ann?
Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth? So help you God. Please state your name for the record.
Mary Ann Carter. Okay, is that loud or? You need to be a little louder if you can.
Boy,
Okay,
that's fine.
I'm good, I'll just talk louder. Right now, I will try and keep it brief because you've had the plan for 10 days, and I'll answer any questions on that. But I am required to just do a little overview of the major points of the plan. This is not a study. It's not a study on redevelopment. This area was designated in need of rehabilitation by the council on June 25th, 2019. That means that it meets certain criteria of the state statute, and the most specific one is that utilities serving it are over 50 years old. There are many properties in New Jersey that meet this designation, and the council has had this evaluated and found that it does. In these types of areas, there is an ability to adopt a redevelopment plan to guide future development of the site. It's a 23-acre site. There's 2 parcels involved. There is a map on page 3 that identifies the site area, and it is block 9103 lot 1 and block 1002 lot 1. Both of them are currently vacant. The goals and objectives of the redevelopment plan are to bring these sites back into a revenue-producing and an active use for the township, provide necessary land for accommodating businesses, and in this case a warehouse business, create skilled jobs for the township, provide vehicular circulation, and provide site improvements, sidewalk, access, off-street parking, open space, and landscaping. Another one of the goals of this plan is to support advancing recreation within the township as well. There are specific building design standards that will, even though it's a warehouse, will require that the frontage of the warehouse along Main Street incorporates glass and has an interesting facade and has at least a 10-foot buffer along the frontage of the entirety on Main Street, and incorporates new sidewalk and street trees as well. Building design goes even further for the rest of the building, even though it is a warehouse. Clear-story windows are required, accents breaking up the facade of the building, and also extensive landscaping and tree planting as well to break up the views of the building from different viewpoints, from the front of the site and from the rear of the site as well, and from the side property lines. The access to the site would be only permitted from Main Street. There's a Kid Road access, but that would be for emergency vehicles only. This plan also requires that there is a 25-foot buffer adjacent to any residential buildings adjacent to the site. I'm pointing these things out because these are requirements that are in addition to what was the previous industrial zoning for the property. Previous industrial zoning did not take it to the extent where you really looked at what the impact of the building was going to be, what the view corridor along Main Street was going to be after development. This plan actually forces buffers that weren't required before, and sidewalk and trees that weren't required before. But what it also does is accommodate some of the needs of a modern industrial building, which is to have higher ceilings, and in this case, a larger building. This size building is what is being built as far as industrial uses throughout the state. And it would be really a wonderful addition to Belleville to be able to keep up and keep in step with what's happening in other parts of the state. It's a large enough site, it can accommodate it, as long as the development regulations really address the need and make sure that it can conform with the rest of the township. There are certain types of building facade materials that are prohibited: IFAS, vinyl, permastone. There's other characteristics of the site plan that are left to the planning board for your jurisdiction when you review the site plan, which is screening of utilities and also mechanical equipment and trash areas. Overall, I think that's a summary of what this ordinance does. But what it really does is increase the control that the board has over any future development on this land. And it does so in a way that's consistent with the current master plan and addresses the community needs and makes sure that a development of this size respects the public realm that it's adjacent to. Any questions?
Yes, did you say that the minimum setback from a adjacent property is 25 feet or 75 feet?
The setback is larger. The setback, the side yard setbacks are different, but there's a buffer requirement that if there's a residential use adjacent, and there's several along the side property line, that there would be 25 feet of trees and landscaping adjacent to that property.
Yeah, we're looking at page 8, letter C, we have the setbacks, and they're different than what you stated.
It says 75 feet to any property line.
The setback is 75 feet, but within that 75 feet, there were some scenarios of this plan that actually showed parking and roadways coming right up against the property line, because generally, those setbacks are for building only. And
Okay, so the building will be at least 75 feet?
building's at least 75
Gotcha.
feet, and in addition to that, this plan now will require there to be additional landscaping. Yeah, there's 25 feet of landscaping, 75 feet of setback.
The same thing on public street right away, this says 45 feet, you had said 10 feet.
It's a 45-foot setback, but 10 feet of berming and landscaping would be along the street.
And also, I guess page 9, number 12, it says a minimum of 25% of the area will be landscaped?
Yes.
So 25% of that 23 acres will be landscaped?
Now, everybody's definition is a little different of landscaping, but it will be up to the board at site plan review to address whether or not that's satisfactory. I think if given the requirements for buffering along the front of the site and along the residential side, that will take up a very large percentage of the landscape.
25%?
It's about 6 acres
Yeah.
worth of it, but when you calculate square footage across the frontage, and
Well, that's a nice
you'll get there.
open space, 25%.
It's not a number we're stuck with, is it?
Well, no, and there are deviations permitted in the plan. It's always smart to do. It gives the board flexibility depending on what is being proposed to make decisions on the specific
It
site.
would be a type of variance that they would have to propose if it was less than 25%.
That's right, it would be a variance.
It would be.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is the new zone.
And the recreation requirement?
The recreation requirement is on page 9D,
Right.
and it requires active recreation space included within the project.
But it doesn't have to be built on the
It doesn't
site.
have to be on site.
So in order to build this, they have to provide indoor recreation space to the town.
Indoor recreation space or funding for that space to the town.
Nice. And in your opinion, this plan is consistent with the master plan, right?
Absolutely. It's within, it's in the Valley Business District, and it follows the uses that are currently permitted already on Main Street, and extends that.
Okay. Any other members, questions? If no other members of the board have questions, we can open it to the public. If anybody has a question? Mr. Frantantoni?
Can't hear, there's 4 presentations. But am I hearing correctly, is this the Walter Kidder site?
Yes.
The Walter Kidder?
Yes.
All right. And the last thing they're requiring them, they have to provide recreation.
To the town, yes. It doesn't have to be on site, but provide an indoor, either funding for or a building on a town of Belleville for town use.
And how much? Because I heard some 25%. How much
That would be
recreation?
in the developer's agreement?
Yeah.
Yeah, that would be ironed out in the developer's agreement, the actual figure.
And the setback, I don't think you were clear either. 75 foot, is this from the front of the property, from Main Street?
She said 75 feet from the building, but yet, like, there's an accessory road, then the road has to be at least 10 feet from the adjacent property, right, Mary?
Yeah, it's actually, yeah, the setback is, let me get to that page, hold on. I don't want to,
I think it's 45, I think, large public street right here.
it is 45 feet, minimum setback, 45 feet from the public right-of-way line from the front yard, 45 feet on the front yard.
From Main Street?
Yes. And
That to the building?
yes, to the building.
Right.
And 75 feet from any other property line to the building.
That's the side yard
Side yard and rear yard.
and rear yard?
Yes.
But the front is 45 feet.
Front is 45.
Any other members of the public have questions or comments? Not? Mr. Donatello, do you have anything? I'm just here for any questions. So if nobody else has any questions or comments, does someone, I guess what we have to do is make a recommendation to accept this plan? Does someone like to make a motion to accept this plan and to approve it, the Valley Business District Plan, and send it to the council?
I make a motion to approve.
Please call a roll.
Mr. Chairman, Mr. Venero,
Yes.
Mayor Melham,
Yes.
Mr. Conti,
Yes.
Mr. Vanda,
Yes.
Mr. Bold,
Yes.
and Mr. Diamond.
Yes.
Thank you. Mr. Sheldon?
Yes, can I have a moment? Good evening, Michael Sheldon, 47 Floyd Street. As everyone on the board is aware, 2 months ago, I raised an objection to the membership of one of your colleagues in that she is a township employee and serving as a Class 4 member. Municipal land use law is painfully clear about this matter. You cannot be a township employee and simultaneously serve as a Class 4 member. Ms. Tubito said that I was wrong about this, that there were exceptions to the rule. She couldn't enumerate them at the time, but she promised me she would respond in writing. 2 months have passed by, I'm still waiting for the response. I believe at the end of last month's meeting, Chairman Venero also requested a copy of that opinion because he is somewhat confused about this apparent violation. So I'm asking, where is that letter? When am I going to receive that, as you had indicated you would do back in July?
I absolutely will give it to you in writing. I haven't had an opportunity to finalize a legal memorandum for you, but I will do that. I don't even want to give you an approximate guesstimate date because I feel like you're gonna put me in prison if I don't get it back to you.
No,
But I will get it to you. I don't
I'm
agree
a very
with your
patient
assessment.
person.
I appreciate that.
I just want you to be
You
aware of
have
the
my
fact.
word that you will get my legal opinion on
I
it
have,
very soon.
I have spoken to several municipal land use law attorneys in these last several weeks.
Yes, I'm
And
aware.
And
I am
all
aware.
of them have said that you are 100% wrong. And the fact that you're not applying the law correctly, it means that you'll never produce that letter because there is no exception to the law. So
Okay.
you're maintaining that there are exceptions.
I'm going to agree with you to disagree with all of your attorneys.
So you're maintaining there are
Do you have anything in
exceptions?
writing from them? Because I'll answer them too.
Yes or no, you're maintaining there are
I'm
exceptions.
maintaining that it was a lawful appointment and legal in every aspect, and I support it.
All right,
And
very
I'm
good.
going to put that in writing.
on-
You just
it's-
recorded me, right?
It's on recording, thank you.
And I-
That's all I'm
that's
asking
my
for, thank you.
position.
Thank
That's my
you.
legal opinion.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Would someone like to make a motion to adjourn the meeting?
Make a motion to adjourn.
Excuse me.
This
There was something that was supposed to happen with Portland Street, some kind of development, and the storm meeting, I was told wrong, maybe there's another meeting. The whole block 307, there's supposed to be something that's going to be a construction site there, or something that happened wrong before you came on. as a
Terry
mayor.
Street, was Terry Street?
No, Portland Street.
What's the address?
There's a major building behind us, and they were going to do from the railroad tracks up, and they were talking about...
That's Terry Street, 91 next,
No,
hopefully,
it's Cortland Street, it's where I live.
yeah, but
From-
there's Terry Street,
from
there's two
Jerome
streets.
Street down
But
to,
there's two streets there.
right above,
They
right
just call
between
it Terry.
is where I live. So I don't know if it's on meeting, did I miss it?
No, hopefully next meeting.
It was adjourned. You could always check on the township website, but it was adjourned, 91
But when you
Because
check,
it was discussed already.
no.
Because
They
because
didn't
it
come
was-
here yet,
it
they
was-
didn't come here yet.
Before you became the mayor, it was already, it was supposed to happen, and then it got, I guess,
So if you look at our agenda, we call it 91 Terry Street, and that was adjourned. It fronts two streets.
Yeah, it's a
so-
little confusing. I consider it Cortlandt Street, but it's called Terry Street.
The
It's
project.
two blocks, it's
because
two
it's,
streets.
yeah,
Yes.
all right.
But just so
that's
you know,
how far they're
that
going.
project is called Terry Street.
Okay.
And we're not here, I'm sorry.
Okay. And if you come to the next, not the special meeting, but our next regular meeting, it'll either be heard or it'll be adjourned.
Right, but is this something that's being discussed or something that's,
They are
something we need
submitting
to bring up
revised
or?
plans.
I'm sorry.
They just submitted revised plans, so
Right.
we have to get some letters from the professionals, and then we will be able to go forward with them presenting to the board.
So
Can
that
you give
will
her
be,
the date for
which
the
meeting?
next meeting? Corinne?
Right now, it's October 10th, which is, the planning board meets every second Thursday of the month, so it's October 10th, but you could call the building department and confirm with me prior, so you don't...
And your name is?
Corinne. I'll give you my information.
That'd be
I'll
great.
write it down.
That was it. Thank you.
Thank you. Meeting is adjourned.